Live from Studio L in the heart of Broomfield High School. It's Books That Matter with your host, our librarian, also known as Conan the Librarian, Jane Shizzle.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Books That Matter. Today our guest is Christopher Roberts. Welcome. Oh my gosh. Good. You have a lot of fans in the audience. That's right. It's fantastic. So I have to ask, is it Chris or Christopher?
It's Chris. If somebody says Christopher, I usually look for my mother.
Okay. Is she correcting you or something?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I know I'm in trouble then.
Okay, all right. So we'll go with Chris. Chris, tell us a little bit about what it is you do here, your job here.
Okay, I'm brand new to Broomfield High. I'm the 9th and 10th grade ELA teacher, or one of the 9th and 10th grade ELA teachers. And I also teach literacy intervention here. And previous to this, I taught 18 years of middle school.
Oh, how was that?
It was a great learning experience, and I have an awesome time, but I really like it here.
Yeah, 18 years is a long time in middle school.
It is a long time in middle school.
Well, good for you. You'll be able to handle anything that comes up here.
Yeah.
So out of curiosity then, are you from Colorado?
I am from Colorado. I grew up in a little town called Steamboat Springs in northwest Colorado.
Nice.
Yes.
And what brought you to the Front Range?
I came out here for rock climbing and school, and my friends were all out here. So.
Yeah. And do you get back to Steamboat very often?
I do. My parents are still up there, so I get to go visit a lot, which is great. It's an awesome place, summer and winter.
Yeah. All right. That's awesome. Good for you.
Yes.
Oh, we're glad you're here.
I'm glad to be here.
All right, Chris, I'm really interested in hearing about your selection for today. You chose one book,
I did.
not several, so this book must mean a great deal to you.
It does. I felt like perhaps I should have picked a weightier tome as an English teacher, but this is one that really made a difference for me.
That's all I care about, is hearing about a book that matters to you for whatever reason. And now I'd like to hear why this one.
Okay, this book. I'm going to have a little preamble here.
That's good.
So I grew up as a reader, and I discovered fantasy in middle school and started reading there. And I happened upon his first book called The Color of Magic, spelled the way the British do it. And I spent the next week rolling around on the floor laughing. It was so funny. So I read everything I could of his after that. And this book I loved in particular because he's great at social satire. And as I grew up, I finally started to figure that out, that the trolls and the vampires weren't actually trolls and vampires. And it was all social commentary. And this is the first book where it really clicked for me. And I really began to understand the satire involved in his writing. I mean, he's always very funny, but being able to read a fantasy book and have it be so bitingly passionate about what's going on in society was a really great moment for me when I figured.
You started to
I was in high
like
school, middle school when I picked up his first book, and then I would say I was a senior when I got to this book.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if I understood, talking to you a little bit earlier, you have almost all of the Pratchett books?
I do.
And that's quite a few.
Later in life, I began collecting them, and I think there are 32 Discworld novels and a bunch of other things that he's written around it. And I do. It's the one thing I make sure I display on my bookshelves. So that's it's really an important author, and this book in particular was something I really loved.
All right. So for a long time, everyone knew what to get you for your birthday, or
if I didn't get to it first,
yeah,
that's what they would all go, wait out. Oh, you've already gotten it.
All right.
Because I would run out every Christmas and buy myself this new book for the year.
Good for you.
Yep.
Well, I love it, and I love that. That's a book that's been a part of your life for then most of your life.
Most of my life, yes, indeed.
Great.
The great part about Discworld is you can pick up any book. You don't have to start anywhere. You can pick them up, read them, and it's just a fabulous romp every time you read.
Okay, great. pick up one of his books. We do have Pratchett books in the library. Not all of them, though. If you want all of them, you're going to have to see Chris. Maybe he'll loan one out.
Maybe, that's
Maybe.
right.
Thank you, Chris. Now it's time for You've Been Booked. And in this part of the show, the current guest is going to choose a name from the blue bucket. And the name of that person will be the next guest on the show. But I need to get in position with the big book of bookings. Very large.
Very large book.
And I have to get to the correct page. It's right here. There it is. All right, Chris, tell me. Shake those names up there. I'll mix them up. Who is going to be my next guest on Books That Matter?
Andrew Martinez.
Andrew Martinez, you've been booked. Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, you
It
bet.
was fun.
That was great.
It was great.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Very